Hello everybody and welcome to what may very well be the final live stream of the Wallace campaign series. We're just going to do a straw poll here at the start while we wait, I guess, as well. Okay, I have made the poll. I'm putting it in the chat, and you know, because people are kind of coming in, we might give it a couple of minutes, like more time than usual, maybe like 7 minutes or so. Yeah, there you are, Joes. I guess in the meantime, I should read the event. 72 election debates, Kirkpatrick versus McNamara. While urban machines exchanged deals for votes and committees arranged donation drives and canvasses as they always had, America's voting public spectated the quadrillennial tradition, what? Spectating? Whatever. Below is an excerpt of their heated exchange that night. Kirkpatrick. In 1941, America reacted to Pearl Harbor with a war it lost in 4 years' time. In 1962, America reacted to the Hawaiian Missile Crisis with a humiliating tit-for-tat between us and a duplicitous snake. That's 20 years of doing nothing but concede to the fascist menace again and again. Our three siblings deserve better than you're being served with a losing strategy, Mr. McNamara. And what you have now is little less than a repeat expecting different results. McNamara. To co-opt your analogy, Mrs. Kirkpatrick, a family is nothing if its members are in some way incapable, indignant, insubordinate, or infirm. The OFN distinguishes itself from colonial empires by holding its members to high standards of freedom and democratic government, in turn securing prosperity for everyone in question. Your vision of the free world debases its essence with milquetoast fascists. Before long, it will have devolved into an assemblage of backwater dictatorships, beholden to no purpose higher than our purse strings. I cannot abide a government that misconstrues such a catastrophic failure as a success. Alright. So, yeah, let's get voting, people. Straw poll is in the chat. We'll give it a few more minutes. And I hope everybody's having a good day in the meantime. Let's see here. Just got here, time to vote. Yeah, you should make McNamara speaking clear. To culture and analogy, Mrs. Kirkpatrick, a family is nothing if its members are in some way incapable, indignant, insubordinate, or infirm. The OFN distinguishes itself from colonial empires by upholding its members to high standards of freedom and democratic government, in return securing prosperity for everyone in question. Your vision of the free world bases its essence with milquetoast fascists before long will have evolved into an assemblage of backwater dictatorships, beholden to no purpose higher than our purse strings. I cannot abide a government that misconstrues such catastrophic failure as a success. Messed up there at the end, as a success. The architect. Yeah, you know, Eminem hasn't been saying a lot since he heard of me, as if I could do Eminem. I'd be going, I stack chips, you barely got a half-eaten Cheeto, fill 'em with the venom and eliminate 'em. Other words, I minute made 'em. I don't want to hurt 'em, but I did. I'm in a fit of rage. I'm murdering again. Nobody will evade. I'm fitting to kill 'em and dump all their fucking bodies in the lake, obliterating everything, incinerate a renegade. Come on, vote, 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 vote. All right, let me follow my own link and see what the results are as this goes on. Wow, almost everybody's voting. That's a nice change of pace. Tightening up. It's a tight race. Few votes can swing it. Next stream, CHG becomes a rapper and challenges Eminem in a 1v1. But I only rap his own lyrics back to him. I just try to do it faster. Oh, I don't know about anybody getting blown the F out. It's a 3-vote race right now. Southern Springs is almost complete. Nice, nice. Very cool. Ha ha ha. Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and stop the count! Because it looks like we've got... Oh, freaking hell. So, I was looking up something for a friend. Anyway, the winner is Kirkpatrick with 59% of the vote. Now, hold on a second. Okay. All right. Let's get back to the game. Oh my gosh, the desktop audio has been muted. I think I did that while I was recording something. Yeah, okay, I was double checking because me and two friends were in a group chat and we were trying to discuss the differences between social democracy and democratic socialism and how it's just like the frickin' because of Bernie Sanders, what's called social democracy in the United States gets called democratic democratic socialism. Robbie, coming from my RFK run. All right, so Kirkpatrick wins. Let's go. I don't know how much that's actually going to help. And then my friend came up with a really, he's really good at like just like being able to encapsulate something in a sentence sometimes, and he basically said that U.S. Social Democrats calling themselves democratic socialists is like how America looked at the metric system and said, let's make that more complicated. All right, the Godfather, which I know that's not how it was, imperial system was created, but the principle is there. So we just got to get to election day now. Am I going to do another Zelda stream today? Probably. Let's say probably. And I'm probably going to do the Trial of the Sword, the second one. If I don't do that, I'm going to go for the rubber armor set. Puppet the UK. I don't think I could do that. I can't manually justify them. Besides, they're in my faction. Huh. Where did all that liberal support come from? It's because the American away modifier, even though we also have a New Dawn, but where is it? Frickin' this one? No. But yeah, basically we have a national spirit which is causing the Republicans to non-stop get more popular all the time. How long can Wallace filibuster? Well, he's the president. The president doesn't filibuster. Less than a month to go till election day. But today's been good, even though I was kind of sick this morning. I eventually got better. I just had a really rough night. I think I was fighting something off. Okay, the poll's been updated. Yeah, I can't imagine Wallace and the MPP doing too well. MPP is on the verge of disaster. Yeah. RD's gonna win this. Universal. Hey, the Senate had what did I have? Like 64 senators? That's a mandate for segregation, people. But anyway, what was I saying a minute ago before that? But yeah, there's been this other series in HOI4 that I've been making, and I'm almost done with it. So I was working on that this morning, and then after this, you're just GHG got the V. No. Not those kind of symptoms, or like, yeah, no, don't worry about it. Let's see here. All right. John Harper said Mexicans, am I right? HOI4 best Reich. So was anybody able to guess what HOI4 country I've been working on? All right, here comes election day. Here it comes. Wait, no, one more day. It's on the 7th. Oh, thank you very much, JJog265. He says Kirkpatrick 72. Well, let's see what happens. Maybe they just hate Wallace. Who won in Germany in this playthrough? That would be Bormann. And Wallace has been talking some mad shit ever since. Okay, the winner in the Senate is... Holy crap. 73 Republican senators from like back-to-back sweeps through the Senate. So we still have 22 far-right MPP. That's absolute... Oh, there's the friggin' alert. That is absolutely because those seats just weren't even up this year. That's the only reason we still have any seats there. Oh my God. And the Democrats have 5 too. So, wow, that's... Wait a minute. No, never mind. Yeah. Dad. Yeah, Republican wave. Oh yeah, the Justin Trudeau fanfic. Let's go ahead and read that. What were we on? We were gonna start chapter 4. There it is. President-elect McNamara has happened, and it's over. In a few months, it'll officially be over, the Wallace presidency. But you know what? We had a good run. Yeah, there is no NBP without Wallace. So what were we gonna do? We were gonna go on to chapter 4 of the fanfiction, I think. So this was just after we had the date and we got out of the car. Yeah, you know what? Let's while we kill some time while we wait for the new president to come into office, let's read it. Justin Trudeau fanfiction chapter 4. Let me put the 5-minute timer on. Whoops, almost put a 45-minute timer on. 45 minutes of fanfiction, brother. Here we go. Starting now. Chapter 4, in which you meet the Prime Minister of Spain and everything goes smoothly. When you arrive at your office the morning after your big date, Mabel is pacing outside your door. She's holding a newspaper in one hand and has a look of steely determination that immediately puts you on your guard, because steel is dangerous. Mabel, you say a little breathlessly, still flushed from the effort of walking up one flight of stairs. You're not here to try to make me learn about the news again, are you? You ask, eyeing the newspaper with justifiable suspicion. Tell me everything, Mabel demands, ignoring your question. She brushes past you, and spreads out the Ottawa Citizen on your desk, directing your attention to a headline that reads, Trudeau doesn't choke under pressure. Prime Minister performs Heimlich maneuver on random woman. Underneath, there's a grainy cell phone photo of Justin Trudeau giving you the Heimlich maneuver. All things considered, it's a pretty good photo of you. You might use it as your LinkedIn profile photo to replace the one of you dressed like an astronaut. Well, you say, buying for a very small amount of time. I was having dinner with Justin Trudeau, and I started to choke, literally. Then Justin Trudeau saved my life. You skillfully managed to leave out the part about how you and Justin Trudeau are pretending to date in order to help your political careers. So let's take a look here at the actual Electoral College. So it was 358 votes for McNamara, 180 for Kirkpatrick. She basically just had the South and, you know, West Virginia, Minnesota, Iowa. Yeah, so there's that. She said, okay, she says, but why were you having dinner with Justin Trudeau? He just asked me. You shrug uncomfortably. You knew that pretending to date the Prime Minister... Who knew that pretending to date the Prime Minister was going to require so much lying? Huh, she says, narrowing her eyes and giving you a shrewd look. You must have made quite an impression on him when you two were stuck in that elevator together. Yes, that's the ticket, you say convincingly. You hope Mabel doesn't remember how you complained about what a jerk he was at the time. It was 3 days ago, so she probably doesn't remember. So, do you like him? You feel a blush creeping up your face. He's the Prime Minister, you say, avoiding her gaze. I have to like him. It's the law. That's not... There's a soft knock behind you and Mabel jumps. Mr. Prime Minister, she says, her voice rising an octave. You turn around and Justin Trudeau is leaning against your doorframe, looking smug. You wonder how long he's been standing there. Could I have a quick word? Justin Trudeau asks, his eyes finding yours. You feel your body tense up. Making eye contact with very handsome men always triggers your fight or flight reflex. As a result, you've been in a lot of fights with very handsome men. Mabel is already scrambling to cram the newspaper inside her perch. We'll catch up later, she says, giving you a private wink. I'm late for a committee meeting. Uh-oh. What's a committee meeting? Are you supposed to be going to committee meetings too? Or is that just something Mabel made up on the fly? Oblivious to your increasing panic, Justin Trudeau softly closes your office door. Then he turns to you and smiles. I'm linking the fan fiction in the chat. I have to hand it to you, he says, crossing the room until he's so close that you have to crane your neck up to see him. Your fake choking stunt worked after all. It works every time, you say, even though it backfires all the time. I did the Mabel voice by accident. All anyone is talking about is the Prime Minister's mysterious new girlfriend. It totally bumped this whole Libyan bribery scandal out of the news cycle. Wait, what? Don't worry about it. The main thing is that we're ready to move to Phase 7 of our plan. Phase 7? What, Phase 7? What were the first 6 phases? Don't worry about that either. The only thing you need to know is that there's been a change of plans for this weekend, he says, giving you a winning smile. Oops. Tomorrow night, you're gonna be my date to a formal dinner. We're hosting the Prime Minister of Spain. And that's it. So that's the 5 minutes. Inauguration Day should be coming in just a minute. Let's see, Chris says we're on chapter 4 of 5 of the fan fiction. I don't know if we're ever actually going to get into it. For all I know, it's still in progress. But ought to be fun, ought to be fun. Oh yeah, we can put the... Oh, I already have the music on now. There. You're just going to make a CHG fanfic? It's like CHG pulled up his broadcasting software. He pushed his hair back with his headphone top as he placed them on his ears. He made sure that his enormous penis was in a comfortable position before beginning to record for the day. The Giant Awakens! Speaking of, My fellow Americans, I stand before you today having taken the oath of office that our forefathers have taken for nearly 2 centuries. Within many of our lifetimes, we will live to see a third millennium. Before the celebration of such milestones, it is important to reflect on how our nation is and how it shall be. I swear to you, America, we will be a greater nation upon these celebrations. America, for decades, our government has been plagued by inefficiencies, wasteful, expensive, and otherwise useless programs that have weighed down the true strength of our nation. For many years, this incompetence was not so important, for the nation was strong and her enemies are few. Now, however, when we are constantly standing upon the precipice of conflict with foreign powers, such programs cannot be afforded. America must stand strong, undivided, and without frivolous distraction if we are to outlast our enemies. Beyond pure survival, though, let us rejoice that, should our Almighty God give us strength, I believe we shall rise into a new age of American prosperity. Taxes in the infernally wasteful IRS shall be streamlined, hundreds of thousands of new jobs will be created, and near every American shall be able to purchase a home and live in peace. You may hear these and believe them to be lofty goals, but I say they are quite achievable. All we need to do is trim the fat for our government and work as one united people. Hail to the chief! Yeah, I've decided that's how I'm going to do McNamara. We need Fortunate Son right now. Why? Oh, because the Nom thing. It's like Robert McNamara. He's like Saruman and the Planeteer, but he somehow sees into other timelines, and he goes, Vietnam, we've got to go into Viet-fucking-Nam, even though it's like a completely different timeline over here. Excuse me. So he's been inaugurated. McNamara himself coldly swore the oath of office before giving a speech in front of thousands at the National Mall, talking about trimming the fat. McNamara himself is well known for his cold, hard practicality. Disillusioned with American politics, he garnered support under the guise of cutting down on wasteful government spending and reallocating those funds to the military. Whether or not he'll be true to his rhetoric is unknown, but the Germans and Japanese would be probably supposed to say fools, would be fools to not fear such a detached, iron-willed man leading America. Careful analysis will win the Cold War. All right, the McNamara presidency. And so that's it. I guess we might as well do the McNamara presidency because we've only been streaming for like 20 minutes, but that was Wallace's America. We're done. Oh, shoot, state secrets! Okay. I think I covered them up in time. Okay. Yeah. Bobby Mac Prez starts. Let's see here. So, let's take a look at this guy. Okay. Robert McNamara, President of the United States, and arguably the most powerful person in the world, is not a passionate man. Years of quagmires abroad and at home have left him bitterly convinced that emotion is the death of reason. Without reason, there could be no stable democracy. And without stable democracy, there could be no America. Thus, if the nation is to survive the Cold War in one piece, there could be no room for emotional compromises. Efficiency and practicality rule above all. I should kind of do a robot voice or something, yeah. Above all, if military IQ standards must be lowered to allow for more recruitment, they shall be lowered. If a foreign nation must be invaded to protect the American people, then it shall be invaded. If taxes must be raised to provide for the common defense, then they shall be raised. America's enemies do not share her remorse or her pity. Remorse, or fear. Their politics demand that liberty must. So, liberty must grow teeth of her own to ensure her survival. Exceptionally well educated, with a long career in business before entering politics, McNamara has always championed efficiency over emotion, and now he stands in a uniquely strong position to execute his wishes upon the face of American politics. His plans include combining tax agencies, reforming the IRS to be less obtrusive to the average American, cutting the social safety net, and rapidly expanding federal power to satisfy his thirst for control. The more wasted money he can save from the incompetence of the U.S. government is more money he can use to bolster the country's military against the increasingly belligerent Germans and Japanese. Now, the question remains as to whether McNamara's ruthless efficiency and political practicality will be able to drain the swamps of Washington and transform America into the fearsome giant it once was, or fall flat on its face like so many before him. Regardless, any enemy of the United States would be wise to be wary of a man so detached from his emotional desires. Such a man just might send the world tumbling into the abyss. All right. Don't worry, that's the only time I'm going to do that. A little rough on my throat. Yeah, it's just giving his background. So in 2 weeks, we get to work. First, the 2-week orgy celebration, and then we'll move on. We're gonna have an inauguration party all night long, all night. Yeah, all night long, all night long. So do we still have that universal segregation? Oh, you better believe it. It is part of the country now. So this is a kind of small thing here, but let's see. Once we get roll up our sleeves, what happens? It's going to open up more of a tree. This will send a bill through Congress. Okay. My series with Patagonia. That was not a series. That was more like I was just trying it out. I do want to play as Patagonia at one point, though. Anonymous. Well, it's too late to see the Electoral College, but it was about 380 for the RDs. Small tree, big ambitions. Break with the party, work with the party. Party, 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 party. So is McNamara... Yeah, McNamara is actually part of the Ds of the RDs. So he's only... His particular ideology is only 5% popular in the country right now. Getting to work. Vice President Birch Bayhan, who was the senator from Indiana. You haven't taken a day off since the election, besides Thanksgiving and Christmas. Phone rang. Director Bush. Yes, I looked over your assessments. The CIA will have its authorization soon. I promise. Oh, let's see. Yeah, we got George Bush, head of the CIA right now. Like clockwork, America moves forward. All right, time to fill the government. Ballots the books. What about the Senate? The Senate is 73 Republican senators and also 5 Democrats. But yeah, the Republican wave was insane. So I think we're going to have to appease the Republicans because it's not like we have much of a party base personally. Finding some common ground between the two parties will help promote unity. Appoint Rusk. Nominate Jackson. Hawkish viewers will appreciate the bipartisanship. Break out the graphs. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but it turns out people wanted to vote for the universal segregation candidate, but didn't actually want to live under the universal segregation policies. That's what I call edgy. Get it? 404 CHG not found. What? Did the Middle East unify? What do you mean? If anything, they're just constantly... Oh, yeah, the Syrian Republic. It's now just the United Arab States. No, this is something different. They're at war with Israel. Huh. Yeah, NPP center is gone. You're completely correct. There's no center. There's no far left. There's no Yakis. You know what, guys, though? We're probably just going to do the McNamara tree and call that a day. How's he still not beating the Regency? I don't know. Probably because there's no infrastructure in Central Siberia, if I had to guess. Filling the government. What's a Yaqui? I think those are senators who believe in Yaqui, but if anything, Gus Hall, I would have thought Gus Hall would have maybe picked up a seat or two, but I guess the NPP was so hated that even the fringe NPP just wasn't there. All right. Okay, so he's getting Schultz to be his Secretary of the Treasury. All right. So let's make a save file here and figure out which way we want to go. Ah, state secret live streams. Sorry. Bobby Mac split choice. Whoops. Split choice. And we're back. I want to see what this lightning strike thing is. So we're going to say it's time to clean house. Getting rid of old style politics. Break up the party. We'll end up with a bill allowing us to have increased presence in the Middle East. Let's just see what happens, kind of generally. Republicans are the most popular. Yeah, I know, but we're not always necessarily trying to min-max. I want to see what's going to happen with this intervening in the Middle East thing. Zalog says, why did you pick McNamara with the Democrats being a rump party? That don't make no sense. Well, because I didn't pick Zalog. I put it to a vote in the chat. You guys picked it. Besides, I'm not exactly a mid-max player. Though I could be if I want to, maybe. Kashira. Well, I'll tell you though, I'm feeling a little sleepy. I was telling you guys how, earlier I'd gotten some bad sleep last night. And it's catching up with me right now on the stream. But we're going to get through McNamara at least. Don't blame me, I voted for McGovern. Let's see, security minister. We don't have one there. We will in a minute. So how's everybody's day been going thus far? Don't blame me. No music. What are you talking about? Oh, are we having that desktop issue again? Give me a second. I know what's causing this. Yep, there's your problem. Let's try that. Okay, you guys should be able to hear it now. See, you should probably take a nap if you're that tired. Yeah, I'm gonna. What I'll probably do is, once I'm done streaming, I'm gonna lay down for a little bit, and then I need to, do a couple of things. My frickin' replacement phone finally showed up, so I need to go get that set up. Oh, here we go. Senator Dole, do you have a minute? Secretary of State Donald Rumsfeld whispered to Bob Dole, who... Okay, wait, I said it wrong then here. Senator Dole, do you have a minute? Secretary of State Donald Rumsfeld whispered to Bob Dole, who beckoned Rumsfeld to follow him into an antechamber. As soon as they two were alone, Rumsfeld held out a list of names. George Shultz, James Schlesinger. Do these names sound familiar to you? Dole shook his head. No, why? They're academics. One from the University of Chicago and another at Rand. Rumsfeld said disdainfully. They're also his nominees for Treasury's top 2 positions. The hell they are! What happened to the list from RRD headquarters? Seems like he's never read it, Rumsfeld pointed further down the list. Every single cabinet pick is out of left field. People we've never heard of. Is the president serious? Dole's eyes widened. How are we getting all these nobodies through Senate confirmation? Rumsfeld nodded grimly. The president's saying he's going to clean house. He's going to run America like Ford. This is Washington, not Detroit, Dole fumed. If he thinks he can run the RDs like a cog in a machine, he'll be sorely disappointed. Some resistance is to be expected. Some resistance is to be expected. Yeah. Okay, we can go, call up the Whiz Kids. This is from leftovers from the time in the Nixon administration. Let's see here. They didn't have the top roles. Yeah, okay, here we go. So he's talking about how he worked with Whiz Kids while they didn't have the top roles in government 12 years ago, working as undersecretaries or backroom specialists and analysts. Now they are more than qualified to implement modern management systems into the government, focusing on the fields of economic analysis, operations, research, game theory, and computing. Rumsfeld Dole fanfiction. And Optimal Joe says that he is the Senate. Yeah. I'll tell you what though, guys, I'm probably going to stream again later tonight. I'm going to do some more Breath of the Wild, where I think I'm going to be going for Trial of the Sword 2, which is quite a challenge. I haven't tried it, but it should be if it was anything like the first one. Should be fun. I just want to get one more heart container before I go for it. Oh boy, we're running a little slow in 1972 here, ain't we? Well, I guess because we are RD now, let's increase the unity of the party. So how about we get back to that fanfiction, shall we? Oh, no, we won't. We're not going to really be able to do quite enough. Let's see. Prem's Laws. The log says, oh shit, I just realized I was 3 minutes behind. Silly me. It's okay, it happens. Alright, national focus is complete. Politics be damned. We're focused on foreign policy and the military. Let's see. While the RDs developed a campaign platform on internal affairs, McNamara is going to leave that quagmire up to Vice President Bay and Congress to sort out. The only other people in Washington who care as much about foreign policy as McNamara does is the National Progressive Party, who are as committed to anti-fascism as he is. So it's like, hey, McNamara, should we do something about this universal segregation that Wallace put in? No, we have to nuke Japan! No, the fanfiction's going to have to wait for another time. So, oh yeah, I was saying, so after the stream, yeah, freaking, You were right, Optimal Joe. I should try to take a little nap. Then I'm going to go get my phone finally fixed. Then I'll later on come back and do some Breath of the Wild, but I have other things to do too. So we're going to have to see. Nominate Jackson. Senators Jackson and Kirkpatrick sit awkwardly aside opposite President McNamara. So he's basically saying, I want to talk with you. I wouldn't call it playing nice. Despite all the differences between our parties, everyone here agrees on one thing: a strong, assertive foreign policy. I don't see why we can't work each other. Okay, so both parties are getting more divided under McNamara. Under Bobby Rack. Get rid of anime or get rid of universal segregation. Boy, if you don't like anime, you ain't gonna like my new, the New Order campaigns going into January or February. Alright. No hard date, yo, though. That is there. No fucking gibberish! Ah! Am I gonna play as Japan? Not on my priority list right now. Optimal Joe says, I don't like anime. I love anime. Yeah. Well, that's cool. It's a fun genre. Really interesting stuff there. Goldwater Street is interesting because you can repeal all the stuff Wallace did. Decisions. Japan's kind of bland right now. Well, it's because I think Japan doesn't have a totally fleshed out focus tree yet, but there are lots of events and things. And you know what? Even the focus tree they have now is pretty large. All right. 44 for Japan is the only really interesting way to go. I love the fact that if Borman invites Goldwater to the Stockholm conference, he just tells him to fuck off. Okay, so we're making Scoop Jackson our Secretary of Defense. It's time to break out the graphs. This will help with our RB professionalism, as well as our research facilities. So we got to work with McGovern's Republican dopes. It's like fighting with one arm tied behind my back. I can't have that. All right, so we get Henry Jackson, and the Republican Democrats get further divided. The nomination of an MPP leadership figure to such an important post has caused a political firestorm with some of the most contentious confirmation hearings in American history. It also accurately reflects President McNamara's approach to politics, that the president leads the country with the best by his side. Party interests be damned. What the actual fuck? Huh. I'm just imagining, because you guys are talking about, you know, washing away the stains, that just, you've got Barry Goldwater. It's like the Ents in The Return of the King. It's like, you know, the stench of Isengard is washing away. Black people will eat at this diner again. Young black people. You know what I'm talking about? Like, Ents will grow here. Young trees. Or, I don't totally remember the line, but you guys kind of get what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, McNamara's going full big braid, y'all. And once we're done, okay, yeah, the graphs have been broken out. Finally, it is time to roll up our sleeves and try for this bill. So roll up our sleeves. White House, his agenda set, his cabinet settled, his support in Congress has been assured. The groundwork's been laid. It's time to make official the new McNamara Doctrine. It will not be simply an address to the nation like previous presidents have done to outline their foreign policy, but it will become ironclad law. We will use our democratic institutions to show to America's enemies what they will soon be facing. I'd be quivering in my jack boots already. Yeah. You know, I was thinking about a comic the other day, and I wish I could remember what it was, or even what the concept, the setup for the punchline was. But it was just, I just remember the punchline of it because it was so funny, and some guy was just doing something that was stupid but not necessarily evil. And then in the last panel of the comic, his dog just goes, "When will the government stop your lies?" or something. The bill's gonna fail spectacularly, Jeebus. Hey, we're gonna have a certain amount of votes already. Here we go. The Free Act. So following discussions with the more hawkish segments... Oh, well, it's already over. It failed. But this is what it was. The McNamara administration has announced a set of bills granting the executive branch expansive authority to advance its foreign affairs agenda with reduced congressional oversight. The Foreign Relations Executive Efforts Act will grant administrations the ability to respond quickly and decisively to foreign conflicts that affect American interests, with a deployments overseas military provision for deploying American military units overseas if deemed necessary. Much opposition is expected to the Free Act and the DOM provision. Constitutional hardriders within the RD and more dovish members of the MPP are already arguing that the act would gut Congress's traditional powers to declare and prosecute wars in the pursuit of short-term geopolitical gains, objectives. But we can't turn back now, both for the hard sake of our allies in the MPP and for the sake of American victory in the Civil War. But we lost. We were only able to get, 23. We were able to get 34 votes. That was it. Bipartisanship is truly overrated. Well, that's it. He's got nothing else in the tree, but let's try to... Yeah, oh, that was it. Yeah, they said we're officially out of content, but let's see if we can go back and get it by appealing to the Republicans, and then that's where we'll end the stream. Did it say Civil War? Sorry, I'm going a little cross-eyed here with my sleepies. Oh yeah, and I gotta take out the laundry from the dryer as well. But you know, everybody who's donated over the course of this stream and in future streams, it's great. Thank you very much. You know, in fact, this one's going for you. Walls of ice will surround my frozen heart, start to melt with the warmth of your desire. Can this be love I feel for you now? Please don't tell me you can't take it. Since the day our stars first aligned, my whole world's been frozen in time. I love you so much I could die, and I can't sleep at night. There is a snowstorm, there is a snowstorm that's blowing throughout the walls of my heart. There is a snowstorm, there is a snowstorm, and it fills till the depths my emotion. Now I'm lost, I'm a prisoner of passion. Alright, McGovern, the log says McGovern is unironically blessed. But okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to try to work with the party to pass a bill to increase our military spending. Since we won the election as a Republican Democrat, it's only reasonable and prudent, even though we should be working within our coalition. First, the agenda is giving the military the resources it needs in order to improve itself. Well, we can always find more ways to cut inefficiencies away, sometimes more money for more training, more recruits, and... Yeah, I wasn't able to get there in time. You know, because he's reading out his own thing. Okay, rally the Democrats. Whoops. Putting on a nice face. Ah, speaking of McGovern... I'm surprised you called. I thought the man with a plan didn't have much use for career politicians. So we're just trying to find the right man. He's talking to the party now. Excuse me. Rally the Democrats. So this is McNamara speaking in the third person. The president is not a public speaker. McNamara is a numbers guy, and you can't convince stats with powerful words, nor can you change mathematical facts with soaring rhetoric. His words will never enter the pantheon of great American speeches like Washington, Lincoln, or Kennedy, but when he does have something to say and something that he can't simply hand debate to do, it has to be important. And uniting the Democrats to ensure that they're all on the same page to support his administration is just one such effort. While the speech is he's giving to the Democrats invited to the East Room is full of cliches. The best is yet to come, and a couple of awkward phrases such as "it won't be easy, it will be hard, it may even be difficult." There's no doubt the sincerity behind it, and his ideological allies are all the more supportive that he at least made the effort. And that'll give us 50 political power, and the Democrats look a little better. That's while I'm sleepy, too. When does the German Civil War happen? Oh, years ago now. It's after Hitler dies. So, time to appease the Republicans. Finding some common ground between the two parties will help promote unity. While the Democrats may be on the upswing now that McNamara is in office, that doesn't mean that we can ignore the Republicans and their needs and desires entirely. In fact, it would make running the government that much harder and fictitious, and that's the last thing the new president wants. Vice President Bain has already had an idea in order to work with the GOP, the University and Small Business Patent Procedures Act. Ever since the federal government started giving grants to universities to help develop new technology, the debate over who actually owns the intellectual rights to the new developments has been a fraught one. This new bill will streamline by giving the universities a chance to patent and profit off these inventions since they do all the hard work, and the president is all for giving those that work hard on ideas and technologies to improve America's security and standard of living the right to prosper thanks to them. So, dealing in favors. You want to see me, Bob? We want to support increases in defense research funding. Gratitude is a powerful motivator. We're going to try to send a bill through Congress. What bill? What bill? The Bayh-Dole Act. Bayh-Dole. Bayh-Dole is going to be great. So, one of the first acts of the McNamara administration is to light the spark of innovation in American industries and private universities. Yeah, we know this. The Bayh-Dole Act allows private investors to hold patent rights to their creations even if federal funding is received. Doesn't that contradict what the earlier event said, though? So, yeah, we got 62 Republicans in favor of it and 4 Democrats. Then there's the far right. 4 of them are also in favor of it. So, yeah, I think we'll be able to pass that last bill correctly now. Okay, so once we've appeased the Republicans, then we're going to appoint Rusk as our Secretary of Defense. Dean Rusk. Hey, Walter Ellsberg. Who's McNamara? McNamara was an official in the Kennedy and Johnson administrations in our own timeline, and he also was the, he used to run Ford. The cringe math Secretary of Defense. Yeah, Bob Dole. Bob Dole. The Bayh-Dole bill passes. Complete success. He's saying the bill sailed through Congress in its original form. Proper planning can overcome any challenge, Birch, McNamara replied simply, flipping through his notebook. We'll do the same for the rest of the legislative program. The RDs will be in line to make that happen. Okay. Time to appoint Rusk, which will just take a couple weeks. He thought he could win the Vietnam War with the power of statistics. And then Anonymous just goes, nerd! There's this apocryphal story that in the basement of the Pentagon they had an early computer and they fed in all this data on like America's military might compared to the North Vietnamese military might, and then they went home for the weekend because they did this on Friday, so that way the computer can calculate when the United States could win the war. And this is like in 1967, and so then they come back and the computer has printed out the answer of when the United States will win in Vietnam. And it says, you won in 1965. Which is, you know, it's just an apocryphal story, but the idea is that there's more to it than math. Highly recommended. The president of the Rockefeller thing. Yeah, so Dean Rusk is here. Highly recommended as a public individual. Plus, he's an RD guy. All right, time to lay out the vision. With the Republican Democrats firmly behind us, it's time to get to work. The president has been working with senators from both parties on a sweeping bill to provide billions more to the military to fund everything from the new weapon system to upgrading technology to become more capable, investing in better the lives of our men in arms. But the largest aspect of the bill is give the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency the leeway and funds to not only surpass the Germans and Japanese right now, but right into the next century. We will make America not only the strongest nation in the world military, but also the most forward-thinking and advanced. A based computer. Let's see here. I do recommend, though, that people check out, if you're interested in that sort of stuff, Robert McNamara's Fog of War movie that he did. Actually, I have no idea where you could watch it right now. let's see. I'm looking around online. But it's just him giving his lessons or whatever. So, hold on. Fog of War. 2003. Looks like it doesn't stream anywhere for free. Too bad. Future-proofing America's defense. We're working together. Even though American soil's never been in danger, we gotta defend American interests. We shall spare no expense on American supremacy. Yeah. Alright, roll up our sleeves. I'd be quivering in my jack boots. Here we go. Military Readiness Act of 1973. It's the first major legislation aiming to fulfilling one of President McNamara's policy priorities. Major overhauling of American military to adopt cutting-edge training and technology across all of its service branches. Can't be done on the cheap, so everybody's in favor of this. We got all the Democrats, most of the Republicans, about half of the NPP far right. So, yep, by just working with our party, our overwhelmingly powerful one. Chris Niera said, where can we find your top movies? I've watched so many movies you have recommended, like Danton and Marat Sade. Well, the two French Revolutionary ones. Well, Marat Sade is on YouTube for free. There's, yeah, Danton's great. It's Gerard Depardieu at the peak of his powers, plus the whole thing, like, there's, like, this whole background with the director and stuff. And, like, what was going on in Poland at the time and things like this. Here we go. The Military Readiness Act has passed. It's going to be signed into law. Objections to the bill on the Senate floor were predominantly focused on the cost of the military programs, with a force both qualitative and quantitatively superior to its enemies being prohibitively expensive to field. Administration officials dismissed these concerns, noting that the American people had elected the president with a mandate to ensure American victory in the Cold War. The administration would employ its same statistical methods to ensure cost effectiveness in the pursuit of military superiority. Can McNamara have it all? So our Army professionalism and research facilities improve. And stuff. Oh, somebody else says, what else do I propose to watch? What, like history movies? And that's it. We're done. We're done. You know what? We'll talk about that in another stream, I guess. Historical movies that I recommend. Actually, I do have my top 10 favorite historical movies, because I have like my top 200 movies list, but I've got also a specifically historical movies top 10 list I once made. So, oh goodness. Oh, Walter, we'll be talking about that on Friday or Saturday. Just you wait. Just you wait. And so dusk approaches the new order. Thank you for playing through the full content for one of our nations. Obviously, it was just one of the paths, but we got to the end. Oh, somebody wants to know where I can look at my top 200 movies? I don't have it publicly uploaded anywhere. Maybe I should do that. Is Malcolm X a historical movie? Dang, you see, it gets tricky with biographies. You know what? Let's say yes. Let's say yes. Okay, so anyway. Thank you for playing through the full content for one of our nations. While, of course, the massive amount of work in this mod is thanks to our team, none of that would have happened without you. The people who supported us through the creation of this gigantic endeavor. Those who made high-quality shitposts, chipped in here and there, left comments on developer diaries, and became part of this great community. Please visit our social media sites and the links attached in the opening GUI, which can be opened with the question mark button in the top right corner. Also, keep your eye out for new content. TNO will be continually updated with bug fixes, patches, content updates, new nations, and eventually a massive update, which will extend the game's timeline until 1982 and add a new starting date. Finally, a thanks to those who contributed art, code, writing, testing, and community management since the project's beginning. And credits to everybody. You know, great work, TNO, great work. You're fantastic. And then where he is, the Pink Panzer, the main man, who we're going to talk about more in the future. And yeah, even more. Everybody to say thanks to. So there's gonna be another stream tonight, I believe. Hopefully this stuff with the phone goes quickly. And now there is gonna be a day at some point. I thought it was gonna be today, but at some point this week, I'm gonna have a day where I don't do a live stream because I'm waiting for something to arrive in the mail. And when that thing comes, I'm taking the day off from streaming because I have to work on other things involving that. So everybody have a wonderful day, and we probably will return to the United States of America sometime to get perhaps Yaki or Hall. But also, let's not forget that I have a save file of Goldwater. So we both might do that. Oh, shoot. It's okay, nothing broke. So we might go to that save file and play as Goldwater for a stream or two. Could be interesting. But I'll kind of file it under a separate playlist. Anyway, I've been saying goodbye for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever. Thank you very much. See you around.